So all the text used in Euphoria, almost all, I would say like 95% of the text used in Euphoria is recycled text material. As in many of my previous works, I used, in analogy to found footage, I used found text material. I used texts that cover about 2,000 years of the history of human greed, so starting from Plato, Socrates, and Sophocles, until contemporary economists and theorists also. There's a lot of pop culture in it involved. There's a lot of philosophy, but mainly main sources are economists and economic theorists. The way these projects start, mostly there's kind of a small spark that jumps from one project to the next. A text fragment I see, I read somewhere, I said, that's interesting, I can't forget it, I copy it again and again, or write again and again in notebooks, and I find it again and again, and say like, okay, that seems to be something that persists and insists on being worked. Those found text sources are then, first of all, obviously collected through years of reading, then started to select material that we found interesting, put it into boxes of those 6 scenes. Some texts ended up in several boxes because they could be used here, they could also be used there. And then started to cut it down more and more and see what is really speakable, what is important for that scene, and slowly develop the dialogue scenes. In the scenes, the sources of the text are not clearly visible. The viewers of the exhibition will see that later. They can read later where the texts actually are coming from. But while they listen to the text, I think it sounds like all this text is just what these actors or performers in the scenes made up in the very spot. We have fragments of those texts also as part of the music for the choir, which has this function of a commenting voice as the choir in Greek theater, where fragments of these texts are picked up and then sung.